I see it on Facebook all the time. It's all over Facebook. Mama and her little man. This is my little man. This is my little boy. And what that does is, hey, thanks for tuning in. This is Two Brothers Coaching. Glad you just dropped in to take a look at our newest video. This is going to be an interesting topic, and it's driven. It's going to be driven towards men, and it's, are you a mama's boy? That's the topic we're going to be discussing today. It's a very interesting topic, but it's very near and dear to my heart because, I grew up a mama's boy, and I was close with my mother, and, I didn't realize that there was something wrong with it until I got older. But thanks for tuning in. I'm Dwayne Tab, my little brother, George Tab.
Yep, he is. He's the ugly one, so.
Oh, the ugly one. Your dad's the ugly one.
Your mama.
Yeah, see what I got to deal with? You see what I got to deal with? And, eventually we're going to do a topic on how to treat your brother. How to treat your brother, because man.
See the disrespect I get after all I did for you.
I know it. I'm your big brother, boy.
And I'm your daddy. Okay.
Yeah, but this is a great topic. It is literally an epidemic, especially in our community, because a lot of our, roughly 7 out of 10 of our children grow up in single parent households. And sons grow up with the belief that they have to please their mother. They grow up with the belief that they're their mother's surrogate husband. And so those things serve as a hindrance as that boy becomes a man.
Yeah. And Dwayne, and this video is for mama's boys, but it's for the women that love mama's boys.
Right.
And so sometimes, you dating this guy and you're thinking to yourself, I don't get, there's something not right. What is it? You can't quite put your finger on it. And there it is. And I will say in my practice, I have seen this a lot. And it's more than I care to really see it.
That's it. Yeah. And basically, what is a mama's boy? And mama's boy, in the videos, we're gonna be doing multiple videos on this topic of mama's boy, because this is a very deep subject. It's a deep subject, and it's an epidemic in our community. And what is a mama's boy? Basically a mama's boy is a man that is excessively influenced or attached to his mother. And I see it on Facebook all the time. It's all over Facebook. Mama and her little man. This is my little man. This is my little boy. And what that does is it trains your son basically to become your husband, instead of you going out and finding, a husband of your own and building relationships of your own. You go out and, hey, you make your son your husband. You make your son your little man. My little man, look at him. Make me proud, my little boy.
And Dwayne, I don't think this is intentionally done. It's not intentionally done.
Right.
It usually starts out, with a parent saying, you know what? I do everything for my kids. I love my kids. My kids are my universe.
Right. Right.
And what that spells is an unhealthy relationship.
That's right.
That's what it spells.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
doesn't provide boys with the opportunity to grow as a boy.
Right.
And so, I think there's a uniqueness and a connection with a boy having an influence of his father, because his father was a boy at some particular time.
Right.
And a man is going to know what's important and what's not important, and what to put weight to and
Right.
what not to put weight to.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And that is one of the reasons why, we have so many mama's boys, is because the lack of that father, or the father's in the home and he's weak. That boy, that son is living in a matriarchal dominated, household, where the mama is the alpha dog and the dad is the beta. And so in situations like that, those situations can produce, a mama's boy just as much as a single parent household can produce a mama's boy.
Yeah. And as a matter of fact, dad is modeling and teaching his son on how to treat a woman.
Right.
And you bow down to him and you cow down to him.
Right.
And you don't challenge them. You don't do anything unless you run it past them first, because it's their approval that's most important. Right. Therein, the perfect son.
The perfect son. Yeah. Yeah. And what that and as a mama's boy, it's instilled and ingrained in you that if you be good and you do what mama say and you please mama, you will get your needs met.
And so it's important for that child. So remember some things. So a lot of times what I have to explain to adults is when something is encoded. Right. So encoding is how that child takes in the feelings, emotions, and develop a belief about themselves.
Right.
And whatever age that is. So if it's 5, your nervous system encodes that as a 5-year-old. Well, here you are, an adult now, and you're saying, well, I shouldn't feel that way, and I don't feel that way. But what's already been encoded for years in your system is, in order for me to be loved, I gotta be accepted, I gotta be approved, and I've gotta be perfect.
Right. And I gotta be a people pleaser. I gotta be a people pleaser. And one thing I've seen, in guys that are mama's boys, is they never, whether they get in a relationship or not, they never fully cut the umbilical cord. They're always attached in some form or another to mama. Mama is always first, no matter what the situation, no matter if he's married with children or if, it doesn't matter. Mama is always gonna be first.
Yeah. And I remember I had this guy come in, I had this couple come in for couples counseling. And the guy said he was still getting over his mother, the death of his mother. And what I realized was this guy was single. This guy was in and out of about 3 different marriages. And the problem was he was already married to his mother. And so his mother's death was like the death of a spouse.
Right.
And so without some intervention and without some outside help, this guy's gonna have a problem bonding and connected with a woman that's outside of his mother.
Right. Yeah.
It's very deep, very deep.
Yeah. And it kind of reminds me of a time when I dated this girl, and she had a son, and he was about 5 years old. And whenever she got in the car, he opened the door for her. It was more of their relationship, and it was not intentional, but their relationship was more husband-wife than mama-son. And so, you go through periods, when you have children and you're a single parent, hey, you go through those periods when you're not in a relationship. And so, unintentionally, you make your son your husband. And, this guy, he hated me. And, it wasn't because, I was a bad person or I mistreated him or anything like that. It was because he felt like I was infringing on his territory because that was his woman, not mine. And so, he would let me know. He said, "Hey, you ain't my daddy." And I said, "Yeah, and I don't want to be your daddy either, boy." Needless to say, that relationship didn't work out. I had to go ahead. I don't like threesomes. I'm not a threesome guy, so hey, I had to go ahead and remove myself from that husband and wife relationship.